Hello again, friends, and welcome to another fine edition of 151. My name is Adam, and I am joined by a man who saw another man about a horse this weekend. His name is Justin. Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
how you doing?
I'm glad you could join me over the airwaves of technology.
The interwebs unite us.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Anyways,
they're enormous. Look at them.
That's what she said.
Said?
You know what? That may be the thing of the night. We're just gonna do as many "that's what she said" jokes as possible. Enjoy that, everybody.
I think a combination. And recently, in the past couple of days, I've been finding myself doing a lot of variations on "That's the name I danced under in college."
Okay.
So let's throw that out there too.
Sure, why not? We're 151. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at 151 The Show. We hope that you subscribe, follow, share, like, support, do all that cool stuff on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, new to TuneIn, and so many other channels. I don't even know all of them all, but if you know of one, hey, follow it and like it and do all that cool stuff, and we'd appreciate it. Justin will give hugs.
That's what she said.
If you miss any of that, you can find us at 151theshow.com or this station's website.com. Tonight we are, usually we have a well laid out topic, or at least we have the framework of a show that we want to do. None of that tonight.
No, not at all.
No, we're coming up on the end of the month, and we wanted to get another show out, and we thought we haven't done a catch-up show in a while, and by catch-up, I don't mean the lovely sauce you put on, your pork fritter, but, just catching up and saying, hey, this is what I've been up to, hey, this is what Justin's been doing, and so on and so forth. The show has not been about us for a while, right?
No, it's kind of our version of a variety show where we just do the snippets, the flashbacks. It's a clip show. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a clip show.
If only it was. That would be a lot of editing, and quite frankly, I don't want to do that.
Do you remember the time when we had our buddy Seth on? I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yep. You know what? Speaking of Seth, boy, his family had a real big scare today.
Yes, that was. I don't have the full details other than what he posted. Obviously, I know it happened, but he was in a mall that they had a gunman and a standoff, and
heavy
had to
police
evacuate. From
WRGP CBS 6 News in Albany, New York, where Seth lives now. Heavy police presence outside the Cross Gates Mall for the shots fired report, and basically, according to Seth's Facebook page, and now this is what's today's date? The 22nd of July when we're doing this. He said, we were inside the mall when this happened. Kaylee and I were in two different stores. She had the baby. We got out of the exits. Thank you, Jesus, for safety. So, best of luck to you guys. That's going to take a little bit to get over, a little bit to unpack there. Yeah,
it's not something you do every day, not something you want to do every day.
And Seth, we're glad you and your family are safe, and CCPI, everybody. Squatch, Iowa. So what have you been doing lately?
What haven't I been doing lately?
You haven't started peace talks, I know that much.
I have not. I have been busy enough that I have not started peace talks. The new Jim Butcher book.
Which has only been 5 years in the making, and you can't find time to read a chapter.
Well, you know what? If Butcher wanted me to be reading it on day one, maybe he shouldn't have taken 5 flipping years to write it. Look, the only guy taking longer to put out content than Jim Butcher right now is Patrick Rothfuss, you son of a bitch.
Have we even gotten any word when that third book is going to come out, Killer Chronicles?
No.
And he probably doesn't care. No. He probably hasn't even written half of it, has he?
He's
son of a bitch.
He's probably pulling a George R.R. Martin trick. That son of a bitch. The only guy putting out content on a regular basis is my boy Brandon Sanderson. Brandon, I love you. Keep going. Because
there you go.
Stormlight 4 is coming out quick.
You know, funny story about the Peace Talks book. I won't get into the plot because I know you haven't read it yet. You'll want to read it. But I'm pretty
Right.
sure I gave myself a migraine reading that book.
Okay.
Because I read it all off I downloaded it, right? Off the phone.
Oh,
And so I started reading it that night, the day it came out, probably about 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I finished it at 1 o'clock in the morning.
right.
And the next day, I've never been like diagnosed with migraines or anything like that, but this was beyond any headache I've ever had. Okay.
Yeah.
And the Wednesday after, it just felt like the whole front of my skull was going to blow off. It was bad.
Right.
Worth it, but bad.
I had a really talk about a weird kind of topic show. I had a bout with last fall going into winter, right when we changed things around at work, and I was on the road 6 days a week there for a while, just running incredibly long hours with time changes and no sleep. And they actually said that you can spontaneously get them just from, just a real change in your schedule, just randomly like that. They said it was very, very akin to what like medical students and law students get when they're cramming and get back on a normal cycle. And mine went away. So
I haven't had one since. That's been about a week ago right now.
Okay.
And
Good.
Nothing bad. Geez, I had to do for the radio job. I had to do an interview that day for our vinyl show, and I missed the call at one point. And I text the guy later. I'm like, "Hey, I missed the time. Is there any way we could, do it later in the day?"
Right.
So he came on the show, or when
and
I say
Patrick Stewart never spoke to you again.
yes. No, so anyways, so I'm doing the interview with this guy, and we were talking about Judas Priest, British Steel was the album we were doing for the vinyl show, right? And I felt so bad during that. He's talking, and I'm doing like this.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to keep myself from like blacking out or throwing up or whatever. I felt so, and when I say this, I felt so bad at that point that there was just, it was the longest like 5 minutes of my life.
Right.
And what's really funny.
Well, we're probably getting along in the tooth. This I don't want to take it. We must have been talking for at least 25 minutes. Dude, it's been 3.5 minutes.
Dude, it felt so long. It really did.
That's what she said.
Yep, you got one. You should almost keep a tally of who gets the most here. If you got a piece of paper.
When you edit it, put a ding.
No, that's more work. But no, it legitimately, it was only about 5 minutes of an interview, and what was really funny, saving grace of it was I went to put it in the system for that weekend, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to sound.
Well, that's good.
So, anyways,
that's good. It's nice to know that you didn't completely screw the pooch doing your job.
I felt so bad. It wasn't quite as bad as last summer when I got food poisoning from a ice cream place here in Ankeny, Iowa.
Oh Lord.
Oh God, it was coming out of both ends.
Who'd you interview then?
Nobody. That was the thing. I got up to go to work, or I went to bed and I was going to go to work the next day. I woke up at like 4 and I had to throw up. I thought I'd feel better. I did not. At one point, I go downstairs because the wife, she got up to take a shower, right? So I had to go down to the downstairs bathroom, and I'm at one of those points in my life where I'm like, I don't know if I need to sit down or throw up. And after I kind of got,
and you're afraid that any motion at either end is going to cause the other one to go. Yeah.
but so I got that part taken care of, right? And I lean back and I'm sitting on the toilet, and at that point I just sat down, so I had clothes on. It wasn't like I was just getting done with business.
Right.
But I like propped myself up in the corner because the toilet's right against the wall, and the world is just going. And I thought I was gonna die. I climbed out into the hallway, and this is where it gets really funny. Is the kid's bedroom is right outside the right on that hallway. I'm laying on the floor, and I felt it was the best I had felt in hours. Was laying on that floor right there, and Steph and the kid come out. The kid's like, "What's wrong with Dad?" And I don't know what she said, something like he's sick or I don't remember what it was, but it was just funny. I was just like, oh God, kill me. I have not had ice cream since then.
Oh, you poor guy.
Despite what it may look like, I have not had ice cream since then.
Well, hey man, you're talking to a guy that 3 weeks ago lost 14 pounds in 4 days.
And
I couldn't hold anything down. And it certainly doesn't look like it either. So
it must have been water weight.
Right, pretty much.
Oh, God. This is 151. My name is Adam. His name is Justin. You can find us on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, Google Play, TuneIn, and a whole bunch of other channels. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at 151 The Show. And if you miss any of that, 151theshow.com or the station's website.com for all of the information. This is a special catch-up show as we go down the realm of me and Justin throwing up and puking and pooping and, that sort of thing.
Welcome to our bodily function show.
Yes, oh, there you go. That's what she said?
That's what she said.
Yeah. Are you writing it down now? Okay, because I'm lazy and I don't want to mess around with a ding and a ding and a ding.
I know. I'm taking care of your ding ding for you.
So
that's what she said.
Yeah, you're ahead now.
So I do have a new addition to the family.
You killed Yoda and stuffed him. Awesome.
I did. So this is the Build-A-Bear version of the child.
Baby Yoda.
Probably. Yeah, Baby Yoda, child.
Let's be honest here. It's Baby Yoda.
So this is, I'm sure, for small children, but I got the email because I have 2 daughters, so I'm on the Build-A-Bear email list, and I had to reserve a place. I had to get in a countdown queue.
That's what she said.
And I could, indeed. I could order this little guy online, and he is pretty much universally loved by anybody who sees him. And my 3-year-old Kaylee says, "I don't like Baby Yoda. He's just a blue rabbit in a coat." Rabbit.
Yeah, no, you just kind of, the way you held him, it reminded me of Spaceballs.
To search for more money.
Cute, isn't it? I can't remember what the line was, but
adorable.
There you go. No, that's cool, man. I like him. He looks good. Oh, he talks too. We can barely hear it. Yeah, I couldn't hear. You know what's funny, though? If you put your hands on his feet and just kind of walk him around, he kind of looks like it's the real thing. No, I mean like underneath the screen where you can't see it.
Welcome to the Playing with Dolls episode.
That's what she said.
So right?
Oh.
We're playing with toys tonight.
There you go. So is that your cool creative segue into your alien story using the Baby Yoda?
Oh, it could be. But it wasn't, but it could be. I just saw him
where were you
back there
going
and thought I'd introduced him.
Okay.
But the aliens is something I want to talk about. So I stumbled on this video, and I put it on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
And it's
for those of you playing along at home, Justin isn't easily swayed by the paranormal type stuff. He just
no, but I don't necessarily consider aliens and UFOs paranormal either, just to be fair.
Yeah, but it kind of falls into, the world of the weird. How about that?
Right.
Okay.
I am fairly mundane. See what there is, but Look, by the same token, I with the you have infinite cosmos out there. I'm a fairly person strong in faith, but by the same token, with the amount of space out there, the likelihood of us being alone is ridiculous. Do I buy into lizard people and constant contact? No. Do I believe that there's a lot more out there than what is public knowledge? Sure. That being said, this is one of the most realistic and finest videos I've ever seen. Fair enough?
Yeah, I got to go back and it's been a week or two since you put that up.
Yeah, probably close to a week. So the video was put up. I found it on Reddit. It actually they tracked down the source. It's a guy named Eddie Garcia on YouTube, and that's not his only video. Basically, what he uses is a combination of night vision.
Is it the laser pointer one?
And high-powered lasers, yes.
We said a week ago it was 2 days.
Well, that's how my week's gone.
Okay, perfect. All right, so the video it's on the Facebook page. I'll see if I can put a link up on the bottom part of this page on either the podcast or the YouTube video. But
he's got quite a few on YouTube besides that one, because this is something apparently that they do quite a bit of. But like I said, they use night vision. They use some high-powered laser stuff, and basically he starts shining around, and more often than not, he provokes movement out of stationary objects in the sky that they start moving when they're getting painted with a target, and move in ways that no terrestrial craft can move.
Yeah, that's what's pretty interesting about this. Although I watched this video, and as someone that works with different movie editing programs, would it be hard to make this? No, not necessarily, but it does look realistic. It
Right.
makes you wonder, that ball of light, it makes you, when it flies directly over his head. I don't know if you're watching the video right now. I keep replaying it.
No, but I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the Flash.
It looks really close to him. Like, it looks a lot closer than what you would think.
Right.
UFO performs sharp maneuver after laser pointer directly hits the craft. Big Bear Lake, California. I wouldn't doubt it's something. I don't know. I always try, like, whether it's paranormal or UFOs or whatever, I always try and think of what it's the easiest explanation. And I always ask myself, could I make this?
So, I mean, the easiest explanation, especially with night vision, something like that, is something, I saw, it's a bug.
Yeah.
Well, okay, if it weren't for the Flash,
Yeah.
there's so many things there that are, with a combination of, okay, you have no variance in the reflectivity like you would if it was a moth.
Yeah.
Nature tends to move in certain ways. Birds and bugs, they all tend to move in certain ways because they're beholden to the laws of aerodynamics and whatnot. This moves, the acceleration's in a straight line. There's no jerkiness. It looks like something under power.
I'll tell you this much: at the very beginning of it, if you watch it, when he scans through, the way the light kind of shows up is like it almost is coming down in altitude and then straightens out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this would it wouldn't be like, this looks really easy to make. It wouldn't be as easy to make as you'd probably think, but I do have to go down that realm where it's like, could I make this? Probably.
And I have to go down the realm of, okay, you can see on that one in particular, the one that I put up at hold on, because I'm watching it, 27 seconds, you see a bug.
Yeah.
And in night vision, I mean, you see a bug, but you see a shape, you see movement.
Yeah.
This is, at first you think it's a comet, it's a shooting star, it's something like that, until he tags this thing, and then all of a sudden it moves, especially right after that flash,
Yeah.
man. It moves in ways that defy explanation for what we know, civilian wise
Yeah.
anyway, about powered craft.
You know what's fun about this for me? It's cool to see you get on like a video from the world of the weird and be kind of lost by it and kind of like, I don't know how to explain this, you know?
Right. And I'll be honest with you, extraterrestrials and craft are probably the only area in which you will see me go down that rabbit hole.
What could it be?
And I spent a lot of time, like I said, both as a person with some fairly strong faith and as a sci-fi fan and as a guy who's kind of delved down that rabbit hole of, going back into paintings from the time of Christ that showed, extraterrestrials and craft and things that, can't necessarily be explained, in some of the mainstream stuff at the time. This is the only place that you'll find me going down that rabbit hole.
That's interesting.
Really. I'm far more at ease talking about this probably than I am with spirits and squatches and all the rest.
Let me ask you
this. This is all technology and science to me.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a UFO or had a UFO? Oh, yeah, you did because you told me about it.
Yeah.
Retell it.
I've seen, well, which one?
Well, which one's the better one? You pick. Tell us a UFO story because I've got one as well that I want to tell you.
Well, we've had the wife and I a couple years ago out by the house with stuff with lights that shouldn't have been there and moving and tracking through the horizon in a way that there shouldn't have been anything there. Now, again, I can't identify that. I don't know that it's a UFO. I don't know if it's a military satellite. It looked very similar to like one of the Starlink satellites. That's we saw those go overhead. If that was stationary, it would look very similar to that.
Funny story about the Starlink thing. One of the guys I know that's into the world of the paranormal, he saw like a really good line of Starlink satellites go over one night. He got on Facebook. He's like, I don't know what I just saw. Are we being invaded? Like he had no idea what it was. And I wrote him and I'm like, I think you saw Starlink. I think that's what it is. And he's like, oh, that must be it. But I'll tell you what, when we saw it a few weeks ago, earlier this summer, it was one of the damnedest things I've ever seen. It
was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I mean, almost brings a tear to your eye thinking that holy humanity can do that.
Yeah.
And I am signed up to be a beta tester. I live out in the woods, man. I am signed the F up to be a beta tester on that. So
when does that take place?
So they say they've got they're looking for like 38,000 total. I think they've got 500 or 600 right now. They said they can do over North America and Canada. They've got enough from like the 44th parallel to the 52nd.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we're about the 41st. So it'll be basically like Minnesota border to southern Canada because the northern region, the circumference of the globe, I'm sure is smaller. So that's, they're working up north, but we're not too far out. And man, that would be low latency, high speed, man. That's the holy grail right there.
Do they have any idea how much that's going to cost, like the average person once it goes up?
Cheaper than what I'm paying now, and I don't want to tell you what that is.
Okay.
It's obscene. But they're talking about eventually being full gigabit. Right now, they're talking about being like 100 down, 30 up, with very minimal latency. And compared to, I have really good satellite internet, but I can't do this on set. I'm running off a Verizon hotspot
Yeah.
for this because I just can't. I can't do it. I mean, 100 down, 30 up would be game changer for me.
All right, going back because we kind of got sidetracked with Starlink there, but seriously, if you have a chance,
Starlink.
If you have a chance to see Starlink, go out and see. Like it's one of those times to go out to the country, away from the city lights and everything, and see it because it is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
It's life changing. I mean, in some ways,
it really is. So, anyways, going back to the UFO story, so you had the one where you had almost like a line of Starlink lights, right?
Right.
Remind me, what was the other one?
Some triangle shaped lights that I saw at mom and dad's
deltas?
house when I was kids. The only one,
Deltas? Really?
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah,
That's the only ones I can really think of.
I didn't know you'd seen a Delta.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
like 4 or 5 nights in a row. Yeah, no, it was pretty crazy, but it was also the late '80s. I didn't have any video equipment. I mean, you could see it, but it wasn't anything you could do about it. I mean, yeah, it looked like if the lights were 100 feet apart, I would say that the thing would have been about, maybe 1,000, 1,200 feet over the house.
Holy
Absolutely
crap.
quiet. Absolutely quiet.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Boy, that beats my two stories out of the water.
Not really. I mean, because I can't identify. I don't know. I saw lights. That's all that I saw.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But when someone like you says you see something you can't explain, at least at the very minimum, I think, okay, there is at least something there.
Right, but I mean, okay, to be fair, I can explain that. I can't explain it 30 years ago. I mean, that could be today if I saw the same thing. That could be pattern drone technology. That could be so much stuff. I mean, that could have been experimental crap from God only knows what. I can't necessarily give it an extraterrestrial origin because it didn't behave in a way that I couldn't explain. I just know that there were lights in the sky. This video, I can't explain that. And I've read and done a lot on, I was a pretty big military technology guy there for a while, especially in my late teens, early 20s. Anything that was declassified that I could read about avionics and aircraft design, I did.
Yeah.
And this is just mind-boggling. This video is on par like with what those Navy pilots saw in that declassified video that the Navy did that said, well, we can't tell you what it is, but we can't identify it either. This isn't any performance profiles of any flight object that the U.S. Navy is familiar with on Earth.
Yeah, that's crazy stuff, man.
It really is.
Of all the weird experiences I've had, that's what she said. I beat you to it there.
Dude, you're 4-2. You're 4-2 right now. You're all over me.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
No, the UFO wise of all, like, the ghost hunting, the Bigfoot hunting, the
right,
all of the stuff I've ever gone and done, I only have 2 UFO story light in the sky stories,
right.
And one of them happened the other night, like legitimately happened the other night. So I've been going out and been trying to get pictures of the Comet Neowise. I think is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. I went out for like 5 nights straight trying to get this, and it's either was clouds, I couldn't find it in the sky, just something every night. The first night that I went out, or it would have been the first night that I actually got a picture of it when there was some clouds. The clouds are only in the part of the sky that I needed to see, of course, right?
Of course they were, right.
So I was just kind of messing around with the camera, and I just happened to point it straight up just because I wanted to.
That's what she said.
Yep. There you go. Write it down. So I point this thing straight up, and
I'm such a child. I apologize.
So I point this thing straight up just to see if I wanted to see if I could get a picture of the Milky Way. Really is what I wanted to see. If it would even pick up where I was, or if I need to be somewhere darker. But
right.
So I look up and I'm waiting for the camera, because it's like a 30-second shutter on this thing. You hit the camera button and it just stays open. That's how it collects the light.
Right.
And it does its thing. So I'm just kind of staring up at the sky. And I'm like, there's a lot of stars up there tonight, you know? Because, I mean, I don't think, you know, living in Iowa, I mean, you're kind of out in the, you know, middle of nowhere. But, I mean, there's enough light pollution just from Ankeny and that you don't see a ton in town, right?
No.
And
no,
where I was up just north of Ankeny, up kind of towards Byalman. And so I'm looking up, and I see like a satellite going across, right? So it's just going, I'm just kind of watching it. And all of a sudden, it flashes really bright. And it's gone. A little bit further down where its trajectory was, there was another real bright flash of light, and it was back, and it just kind of kept going.
Nice.
It was
little jump.
Yeah. Listen, I can't sit here and tell you that, that was aliens doing a drive-by.
Right.
You know, locking the doors and stuff because Earth. But,
right.
But
they don't want to get COVID either.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just it was one of those things that I've never really seen before. And then that was it.
It's just enough to open a whole world of possibilities, isn't it?
Yeah, like you think, okay, was it just a satellite that maybe caught the sun?
Right.
Was it, or it's tumbling and it, you know, it's doing its thing, or
right,
or what? But it was weird enough to just make me go, what did I just see?
Or you saw something that was trying to escape detection from a radar unit and engaged a cloaking device, you know, some sort of, who knows?
You know what it legitimately kind of reminded me of? And this is where you're really going to laugh. That's what she said. You remember the end of First Contact? It wouldn't be a 151 show without a Star Trek reference.
Right.
But at the end of the movie, when they're going back in time and they show up from the ground and it's just that, like, blip and it's gone.
Right.
That's kind of what it reminded me of. If you want to put kind of a feel to it. So,
right.
I don't know. So
that's interesting. And real quick, and I'll send you this picture because it's pretty cool. It's actually the background on my phone. So I got a Google Pixel 4 here about a month ago. One of the things it's got is astrophotography mode.
Oh, really?
So you talked about you know, the shutter being open for like 3 or 4 minutes.
Mine goes up to like 30 or there's a
30 seconds. So this one, you point this at the sky for like 4 minutes and it has a countdown timer.
Yeah.
I'll hold this up the camera. When I took this picture, all I saw was clouds. I set my phone on top of a beer can and just let it like go.
Yeah.
So all you could see was clouds when I took this picture. And as you start to zoom in, it's just star after star after star after star. It is so amazing. And it kind of makes me want to get into like that nighttime long exposure photography like that.
That's the funny thing. As soon as we're done doing this tonight, so when everybody's looking at this, it's July 22nd. Apparently tonight is going to be the closest that Comet Neowise is to Earth.
Okay. How far is that above the horizon? I wonder if I can see that above my trees.
You know, it's in between the horizon and the Big Dipper.
Okay.
And when I've gone out, like naked eye, I haven't been able to see it. What's weird about it, and I actually talked to a weather guy here in town. Actually, he likes 151. It's Jason Sudeku.
Hi, Jason Sudeku.
So I love
your number puzzles.
There you go. So I told him, I go, it's weird because when I look away, like when I'm looking at that area, I can't see anything. When I start to look
Right.
away, I can kind of make it out. And he said it was something about the angles and something like that. But he said you're not crazy. So
Well, okay. So anatomy lesson. The direct center of your eye, you're blind in,
yeah,
because that's where the retina attaches. So you move off to the side. You can actually see that stuff better out of the corner of your eye than you can looking directly at it, because you get a better, like, it hits the rods and cones better.
yeah. So I told the wife, I'm like, listen, you know what? Because I got good pictures of it, and I'll put some of them up in this. I got good pictures of the comet the other night, but when I saw that tonight is supposed to be the closest approach, I was kind of like,
Right.
you know what? I may go out and just see if I can get a better picture and just see what happens.
I might have to go out and see if I can even see it through the trees and break out a tripod then.
Yeah,
See what I can do with my phone.
horizon. It's right in between the horizon and the Big Dipper. At least that's where I saw it the other night. And the window, at least here in Iowa, was somewhere in the neighborhood of like 10 o'clock to like 1 a.m.
Okay.
So you should be able
Well,
to.
as we record this, we're coming up on 10 o'clock. So
I know. So, all right, Freds, that's good. No, but
that's my bedtime.
well, it really was one of those things. It's like, you know what? This thing isn't going to be around for another 6,000 years. And the last time that we had, the big astronomical event that happened, or astrological, I should say, is the solar eclipse, but it was cloudy here.
Yep. It was cloudy. It sucked.
Yeah. So there's part of me that's like, okay, you've got pictures of this. You know what, though? Let's go out one more time and just see if we get that really good shot,
Right.
All right. Well, I think that's going to about do it for tonight. We'll have to really, you know what? I talked to that Tom Warner from Unsolved Mysteries and the UFO, the Berkshire's UFO. Yeah. He said he'd come on the show sometime on 151.
I'd like to yeah, I want to do a real, like, actual expert guest UFO show for a long time.
So once we can kind of get back together and be in the same room at the same time, we'll have to do that. All right, well, that's going to do it for us, friends. This is 151 The Show. My name is Adam. He is Justin. You can find us online at 151theshow.com or this station's website.com. We hope that you like, follow, and share us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at 151 The Show. And find us on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, TuneIn. Any other one I'm forgetting? There's like 100 of them now.
Yeah, it's a ridiculously large number.
Anyways, 151theshow.com is the best way to find us. We can't end without a shameless plug.
Cue the music!
All right, this is the part of the show where Justin and I shamelessly plug something. It doesn't matter what it is or, what it has to do with it, if we like it or whatever. We shamelessly plug it. I have no idea who's doing the shameless plug tonight.
Go ahead. You got one? I've got one.
Okay, you go. I may think of one. I can't remember if we've done it or not.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to start. We talked about it earlier. I want to shamelessly plug Starlink, man. SpaceX. Let's go. Elon Musk, you crazy son of a bitch. I know you like to retweet stuff that you're tagged in, so listen up. I'm a big fan. I have lived out in the country for most of my life with zero internet, and the stuff that I had has been high latency standard satellite or low bandwidth mobile stuff. You crazy beautiful bastard, if you could pull off this low latency stuff, I will be your fan for life and a loyal customer. So expand the beta and let me try it out, man. I'll review it right here on the show.
You know what's funny? Did you ever see the meme about Elon Musk? There are people like going after him about something, and they were like, "This is how you form a supervillain."
Right. Right. Well, I mean, if you think about it, he's basically Hank Scorpio from The Simpsons when Homer went to work for the supervillain.
Oh, what
I mean, they even. I mean, he built. You pulled ahead of me again.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Son of a bitch. Yeah, I mean, he even built a flamethrower, and think about the end of that episode where Hank Scorpio's got his flamethrower out with the guys. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that. Well, Elon Musk, thank you for Starlink. We appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you for SpaceX rockets, man. Thanks for taking the Canadian guys up there.
You know what? I was when they did SpaceX, when they launched the astronauts, or SpaceX when they launched the astronauts up.
Yep. Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Yeah, that was awesome. The names on that were perfect, but
right?
I gotta take a leak so bad I can taste it.
We got to get up the ISS, and we got a couple beers and some back bacon sandwiches, eh?
You think they looked out the window and went, "Hey, look out the window, snow." But no, I remember putting something up on Facebook. I'm like, "This is world changing. What they're doing."
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, absolutely, abso-friggin-lutely.
I just want to go hang. You think Elon would be fun to hang out with for a day, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I think so. I just want to like get in the Cybertruck and moon people, or drive around and flip them off. Be like, Elon, do a donut. I'm gonna hang my ass out the window.
He'd probably
Crazy
do it though.
bastard.
That's the best thing.
Oh yeah, no, like totally. Let's call Rogan. Let's call Joe Rogan and get some of that stuff that he's always talking about. We'll go on like a 2-day trip.
Hey, Elon, let's go get fireworks.
Right? He pulls out like 3 flamethrowers from the back, just like one in each hand from the Cybertruck, be like, "Let's light him up, man."
There you go. All right. Well, friends, that's going to do it for us tonight. His name is Justin. My name is Adam. And together, we are Wild Stallions.
Wild Stallions! Elon, call us. We'll hang.
There you go. In an unedited version, or edited out portion of this, he wanted me to say that, so it happened. You forgot about it already, didn't you?
No, but I didn't know that we were actually going to edit that other part out.
All right, everybody. Have a great rest of the night. Find us on 151theshow.com.
And we'll see you next time.